Originally, Woodlawn Farm was founded actually in 1824. It was founded by Michael Huffaker, who actually came up here from Kentucky. He headed this direction with his wife, and they stopped in Springfield and bought land, and they bought 160 acres. And this was in 1824 when the farm was originally started. Back when the Huffakers lived here, one of the things that often happened is there would be slaves, runaway slaves, who would show up and need a little bit of assistance. Well, one night there was a knock on the door, the front door right here, and Dad went to answer the door. Well, there stood his friend Craig Hess, a black man, a mulatto woman, which is of mixed race, and a baby. And so Dad invited everyone into the house. Well, the baby was getting a little bit cranky and starting to make a lot of noise. And so Fanny, the youngest daughter of the Huffakers at the time, was upstairs in bed, and you were never to get out of bed after Mom put you to bed. But this one night she heard a baby, and she really liked babies. So she went to the top of the stairs to look down and see who was here. And she saw there was a baby. Well, the baby was really getting fussy, and so Dad took the runaway slaves and Craig and the baby into the parlor. Well, the next morning, here she comes. Fanny comes running down the stairs. She's gonna go out and take a look in the black homes and see that baby. She couldn't wait to see the baby. Well, she goes to the first house, no baby. Second house, no baby. Third, fourth house, no baby. She comes back to the house and says, "Mom, where's the baby?" Mom is just scared to death. What if Fanny were to tell somebody? And so she explains to Fanny, you cannot tell anybody, not your brothers and sisters, not your friends, not your cousins, nobody about this. Nobody must ever know. So she waited until after the Civil War when she told her daughter, and her daughter eventually told her daughter. Well, the granddaughter of Michael Huffaker wrote an essay in class which ended up being published in the Jacksonville Journal-Courier about the incident that Grandma had seen way back then. And because of that, we were able to show that we know for sure at least 3 runaway slaves stood in this very spot in this house. They're always looking for, where did you hide the slaves? And we didn't hide them because we had 4 black families living here in cabins on the farm. When they would get the runaway slaves all cleaned up, and then they would send them out to live with the 4 black families for a day or 2 and kind of rest up for the next portion of their journey. I think a lot of people will find that when you come to Jacksonville, there are so many sites, there are so many things to hear about, to learn about. I didn't find out about this when I was in school. Apparently, a lot of the Jacksonville history really wasn't talked about. But when I came back one time for a class reunion, one of the activities they had available for us was a tour of Woodlawn Farm. And I thought, what's Woodlawn Farm? I don't even know what it is. So I decided to take it. Well, after that, then I became involved. And I just love telling the story because I think it's so important that we had runaway slaves who were working so hard, as well as some black people who acted as conductors on the Underground Railroad, and I'm proud to tell their story.